Hare Krishna.
So we're very delighted to be here with everyone tonight, especially to be at the lotus feet of Sri Sri Gaurnitai. Any special name for Gaurnitai?
No. Yeah.
And to be at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada and to be with some of the wonderful devotees of Orlando Yatra. We're very, very delighted today. So tonight we're going to take you to Vrindavan without ticket, without visa, no security check. And just to put us in Braj mood, we have a very beautiful song about Lord Chaitanya. Because it's only by Lord Chaitanya's mercy that we see Vrindavan at all, because all the places were lost. Mahaprabhu came and personally revealed Radhakund and Shyamakund to the eyes of the world. Then he sent the 6 Goswamis to uncover all of the lost holy places of Braj. So everything we see is only by mercy of Mahaprabhu. And since we're Gaudiya Sampradaya, then 90% of our, well, I guess 80% of our bhajans are in Bengali. Especially if it's about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then it must be in Bengali. But this bhajan is about Lord Chaitanya, but not in Bengali, not even really in Hindi, but in Brij Bhasa, the language of Braj. And it's very, very simple. Everyone will catch on to the refrain and sing with us. But if you have your devices, first of all, you can put them all in silent. Because these babies have a way of crying in the middle of the katha. And you can look up. Huh?
If it's online, you can put it on the screen. No?
Yes, online, yeah.
Should you put it on the screen?
Yeah.
You can put it on the screen of the device. Sundara Lala. Some versions have Sundara Bala, but I learned it from Bhakti Charamara, Sundara Lala. My book also says Sundara Lala. But Bala and Lala both mean little boy.
Sundar Lala, KK maybe is there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's on KK.
I see Sundar Bala and KK song.
Yeah, that will be
That is the same. Bala and Lala both mean little boy.
You sing it, right? You sing one day.
Maybe.
How many have been to Vrindavan? Only a few haven't, so check. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Just waiting for you to put your Astra away. Sundara Lala Sachi Lala Sundara Lala The very beautiful little boy of Sachi Devi, he's always dancing in Hari Kirtan. Because Mahaprabhu specifically appeared to spread this chanting of the holy name as a recommended process for God realization in this dark age of Kali. Like after some time, he took sannyas and he went to Jagannath Puri. After Puri, he decided to go on South Indian tour, Dakshin Bharat Yatra. And everywhere he went, he didn't go like us by AC bus and car. He went by his lotus feet, dancing along the way and chanting very loudly, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And everyone who saw him chanting the holy name they also began to chant,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And when that person went back to his village chanting the holy name, everyone in the village who saw him, they also began to chant,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
In this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was spreading the chanting of the holy name. And from Puri, he came about 500 kilometers to a place called Kurmashetra, where there's a beautiful, very old, ancient deity of Kurma. He's practically worn out from so many people pouring water on top of him, but I've been there and seen that place. And there, when he saw the deity of Lord Kurma, he began to dance and chant ecstatically. And one Brahmin from that place, actually his name was Kurma Brahmin, he saw Mahaprabhu dancing and chanting in ecstasy. When finally Mahaprabhu calmed down a bit, he came and said, Prabhu, I'm a poor householder, you please come and bless my house, place your lotus feet in my house. So seeing his wonderful bhav, Mahaprabhu agreed and came to his house. And there he kept him very nicely. And every evening all the villagers would come, and there would be Hari Katha and Hari Kirtan. Every night everyone would come and have Hari Katha and Hari Kirtan. On the third day, after 3 days, Mahaprabhu began to pack up to leave and go on his way. Not like you guys with 2 Samsonite suitcases. Lota, kambal, sadhu, kasambal. Lota and a blanket, that's all the luggage of the sadhu. And Kurma Brahman came and said, Prabhu, we're feeling so much ecstasy in your association. You please stay one more day with us. You please stay one more day. Mahaprabhu said, no. I have not taken sannyas to live comfortably in any householder's house. I have my mission. I never stay more than 3 days in anyone's house. He said, but Prabhu, we're feeling so much ecstasy in your association. Please stay with us. And Mahaprabhu, seeing his wonderful bhav, he broke his vow. He never stayed in anyone's house more than 3 days. But for Kurma Brahman, he broke his vow. It's all right, one more night. So again in the evening, all the villagers came. There was nice Hari Katha, nice Hari Kirtan. Next day, Mahaprabhu was again packing up to leave. And the Kurma Brahman came and fell at his feet. And Mahaprabhu said, no, now I'm going. No, Prabhu, I'm not going to stop you. But Prabhu, this householder life is filled with so many troubles, so many anxieties, so many difficulties. I'm not going to stop you, Prabhu, but I'm going to give everything and come with you. Now the ladies are worried, Deena is going to take all the Prabhujis off to Vrindavan. But what did Mahaprabhu say? He said, Nahi. No, this is not my mission. Then he spoke immortal words. Yari deko thai kao Krishna Padesh, amara gaya guru hai thari desh. This is not my mission, is to leave everything. You stay in your house. You stay with your family. You stay with your friends. But wherever you go, whomever you meet, you tell him about Krishna. Yari deko thai kao Krishna Padesh, give him the instruction of Krishna. Amara Gyai Guru Hai Taridesh. By my order you become Guru. Are? How I can become Guru? What quality do I have to become Guru? Amara Gyai, by my order. It's not a very difficult thing actually. Prabhupada gives the example of the postman. postman, he takes the letter from someone and delivers it to the person who is sent to. And not that he opens up the letter and says, well, he said this, but he really meant that. I don't like this sentence. What he really meant was this. Does the postman do like this? If he does, he'll get in trouble and be arrested. He takes the letter and delivers it as it is. So you just repeat without changing whatever Krishna has said. You repeat that. You become guru. Not difficult. Amaragai Guru Hai Tari Desh, or save all of your countrymen. So this is our process. We chant the holy name. We offer our food to Krishna. We study Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and we try to introduce as many people as we can to this wonderful process. This is Mahaprabhu's mission. Not that you give up your house. Just like there's one verse from Mahaprabhu was speaking with Ramananda Roy, and he quoted one verse from 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto. Srimad Bhagavatam, 14th chapter, Lord Brahma's prayers. He says, Stane stita, you stay in your place. Stane stita, you stay in your place. Shruti katam, but you go on hearing. You know, Shruti means to hear. Shruti katam, you go on hearing. In his lecture on this verse, Prabhupada points out that the hearing is so important. That even without practicing, if you go on hearing, what does he say? Sanmukaritam. If you hear Sanmukaritam, in Sanskrit, when the T comes before N or M, it also becomes a N or M. So the actual word is Sat. Sat means a devotee, because he's always speaking Satya, the truth. Mukaritam, you can understand from the mouth. You hear from the mouth of the Vaishnava. And Prabhupada is so important, even without practicing, if you just go on hearing. Of course, the more you try to practice what you're hearing, the faster the realizations will come. Because in Kali Yuga, we have very little time. Shastra is telling us we have 100 years. But we see so many times somebody only 45 years old, they're getting heart attack. And then after 3 or 4 more years, Ram Nam Satya. So we don't have much time. And we've heard that Lord Mahavishnu, he's breathing out, and millions and millions of universes come into being. And when he breathes in, they're all destroyed. So that destruction could come any time. We have to take advantage of what little time we have. And who knows, Prabhupada said this material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. And just like sometimes we're sleeping, we go. So who knows, maybe Mahavishnu does the same thing. He'll go like that and the whole universe disappears. So you better take advantage of whatever time you have with you and practice. The more you practice, put into practice whatever you hear, the faster the realizations will come. So this is Mahaprabhu's mission, that you sit with all your friends and your family, and you chant Hare Krishna and discuss Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Not very difficult process. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Shalakya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Vishnam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kanakamayam Tadati Swagadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvaya Patitanam pavanebhyo
Gurudevyo Namo Namaha.
So we were just hearing how Mahaprabhu came and he visited Vrindavan, because Vrindavan was practically lost, and the places of Vrindavan were practically lost. But Mahaprabhu, he visited all the 12 forests of Vrindavan, because on the western bank of the Jamuna, there's 7 forests. Madhuvan, Talvan, Kamudvan, Bahulavan, the largest Vrindavan, and one forest way far west it's in Rajasthan actually, Kamivan, and one little forest called Kediravan, 7 forests.
Chai.
And on the eastern bank, we have Bhadravan, Bandirvan, Belvan, and Lohavan, and Gokul, Mahavan. 5 forests. The 7 and 5 is 12. And Mahaprabhu first came to Mathura and took his bath at Visramghat and all the ghats up and down. There's so many ghats up north and so many ghats south. He took a bath in all of those ghats. And then he proceeded to Madhuvan. And that's one of when you go on the Brajbandhu Prakama with Radharaman Swami, and then that's one of the nicest walks, only 4 or 5 kilometers. Because sometimes we're going 22 kilometers. But this one is very nice. We just a small walk, and Madhuvan is the next town. And Bandu is a very special place. Because this is where, just before you enter the village, on the left side there's a little sign that says Dhruv Tila. Tila means hill. So you go inside there and you come to a beautiful forest. We came to Vrindavan expecting to see forests. But now Vrindavan looks more like your Orlando than forest. But if you go to Madhuvan, then you'll see beautiful forests there with so many kadamba trees and these big, huge, tall poplar trees with peacocks hiding in the. If you look very carefully, you'll find the peacocks there with their tails hanging down and they're crying. Meow, meow, meow. And beautiful tamal trees are there. So beautiful forest. And a big hill is there with a temple on top. And we have to climb up so many steps because this is where Dhruva Maharaj performed his penances. We hear about all these things in Srimad Bhagavatam, but you can actually go to Vrindavan and you can see these places actually. They exist. Because remember, way back in Satyuga, because Madhuvan is famous in all the 4 yugas. In Satyuga, there was a very great king, son of Swayambhuva Manu, and his name was Uttanapada. And since Kshatriyas, they were in a position where they could maintain them equally. He had more than one wife. He had 2 wives. One was named Suniti, and Suniti's son was Dhruva. Then he married a younger wife. Her name was Suruchi, and her son's name was Uttam. One day, Dhruva saw that Uttam was sitting on the lap of his father. So he also tried to climb up. And Suruchi was there, and she spoke very cruel words. Are, you cannot sit there. You have no adhikar to sit there. Maybe if you pray to the Lord and you take birth from my womb, then maybe you can sit there. So he was Kshatriya boy. He could understand the meaning that she, because she was a younger wife, and this is one of the backdrops of bad things of material world, of how we become attached more to the younger wife, so he was very attached to the younger wife, and she was going to use that control to make her son the next king. There's no, by the parampara, the eldest son should become king. But he understood by her words that you have no right to sit there, that he was not going to become king. She was going to use her control over him to make her son the king. So he was Kshatriya, his blood began to boil. He can understand the meaning of these words. So he went crying to his mother Suniti and explained to her what happened. And she said, well, what can I do? Your father is more attached to the younger wife. Nothing I can do. Only God can help you. Sudra Maharaj says, where is this Bhagavan? I'm going to ask him, I'm going to go find him and ask for a kingdom greater than my great-grandfather. His great-grandfather was Lord Brahma, whose kingdom is the whole universe. He wanted a kingdom greater than that. Such a huge material desire he had in his heart. And on the recording, Prabhupada says, she was a very simple woman. So she said, I don't know, but all the sadhus and rishis, they go to the forest. So maybe it's that Bhagavan lives in the forest. He said, all right, I'm going to the forest. So Dhruva Maharaj, he took off going to the forest. And one time in Kumbh Mela 1989, that was the first Kumbh Mela I ever saw. And I've seen all of them, every Arda and every full Kumbh since 89, except this last one. I'm too old, it is too cold. So 1989 was the first Kumbh Mela. And at that time there wasn't all these digital screens and all these things. So they had a rear projection screen. They had like this 15 by 15 foot screen, and they had a projector from behind, if you remember those things. And it displayed it onto the screen, rear projection screen. And they were showing all these religious films, Mahabharata and Ramayana, and different scenes from Ramayana, turning the ocean of milk. So one night they were showing the pastime of Nrsimhadev. Just like now the movie has come, Mahavatar and Nrsimha. So they were showing Nrsimhadev pastime. So I was walking around the Kumbh Mela, and I saw this scene. Dhruva went off to the forest. Then Uttanapada, he became very upset. He began to lament, what have I done? Now my son has gone to the forest. Let me go and get him. So he started getting ready to leave to go to the forest and bring Dhruva back. It's not in the Bhagavatam, but maybe in some other Purana, because these are generally based on Puranas. So maybe in some other Purana. Anyway, and Suruchi, she saw that her husband is going away. So Prabhupada explains the woman's secret weapon is tears. So she came to Maharaj Uttanapada and says, you're going away to the forest and leaving me here alone. So he was stuck. He couldn't go to the forest. So later, in this particular version from the Puranas, his Swayambhuva Manu appears, his father. And Uttanapada comes, Pitasri, welcome Pitasri. Padariye, please come. Viraje, please sit, And Swayambhuva Manu says, Beta, my son, everyone is very happy in your kingdom? Because with different classes of people, we ask different questions. As a Brahmin will ask you, is your bhajan going? Is your yagyas going on nicely? Your puja is going on nicely? To a Vaishya will say, you're getting nice business, customers are coming, things are selling. And to a Sudra will say, your service is going nicely. So to a king, are your subjects happy? And Uttanapada said, "Oh, Pita Sri, by your mercy, everyone is very happy in my kingdom." And then Manu becomes very grave and he says, "Yes? And Dhruva and Suniti, are they happy? Tell me, are they happy? Huh? Are they happy? They're not your praja? They're not your citizens?" There's such injustice is going on in your kingdom. Even in your family, such injustice is going on. And why? Only way I can translate the Hindi. Kisi chotati nariki sundartakali, just for the beauty of some little chick. This injustice is going. Very tense scene. Very, very dramatic, And right then, because there was some company that was sponsoring these, then the advertisement came up, right in the heavy scene, all of a sudden, bing, fair and lovely. They were marketing some new beauty soap. It was I was just rolling in the sand, laughing and laughing. Because in Kumbh Mela, there's only sand, sky, and sun. And somehow, huge nugger comes up in the middle of these three things. So I'm just rolling in the sand. So, anyway, on the tape, on the recording, Prabhupada says that if somebody tries to find out God, then Krishna sends spiritual master to help him. So he told Narmani, "You go see what this fellow was." And Prabhupada said the business of the Guru first is to test the disciple. Is he serious? Just like when you go to Madhavan and pass by this poor imitation of the Taj Mahal, and that guy, for 1 rupee you get Diksha. So he has lakh and lakh disciples. You see this big temple on the side of the road, the highway there. Lakh and lakh disciples. Just 1 rupee you get Diksha. They're not so simple like that. Just like in ISKCON, you have to chant 16 rounds and follow the 4 regs for 6 months, and you get recommended. Then maybe if you follow for a year, we'll give you Brahma initiation. There's some tests. So when he came there, and he told Dhruva, "My dear boy, you're a king's son, a prince. You used a nice soft life, sleeping a nice soft mattress as soft as the foam of milk. Here you'll only get dry grass and dry leaves to sleep on. You'll only get berries that monkeys eat. In the palace you get sweet rice and puris and halava. Better you go home and do your Krishna consciousness at home." Just like I've been in India for now almost 40 years. I remember so many times some young boy joins the ashram, and immediately the mother and father come, "But you can do your Krishna consciousness at home. Why do you have to move into the ashram?" This Mama Maya is very difficult. Krishna said, "Mama Maya is not yet." So Prabhupada explains, Dhruva Maharaj told him, "Look, my dear sir, if you can tell me how to find out Bhagwan, then speak. Otherwise, choop, you be quiet." So Narmani was satisfied. This guy's, he's serious. So he told him, very beautiful verses. Tat gaccha badram te yumunayastayam satatam suchi punyam madhuvanam yatra sanidhyam nitira hare. Tatata gaccha badram te yamunayastatam suchi. He said, you go to that where the Jamuna is flowing very, very clean. Now if you see the Jamuna, you'll cry. At least those days, 5,000 years ago, or this millions of years ago, I think, it was clean. Punyam Madhuvanam, he mentions Madhuvan, this is Satyuga. He says, exactly, Punyam, that pious forest, Punyam Madhuvanam Yatra, Yatra means there. Sanidhyam nitida hare. Sanidhyam means to become close. Nitida, it is always very easy to come close to the Supreme Lord in that place. It's like sometimes people challenge, what's so special about Vrindavan? But God is everywhere. What's so special about Vrindavan? And I always say, yes, just like water. Water is everywhere. If you go to Arta Bandu's place, you dig 3 feet and you get water. And if you go to Jaipur, then you have to dig 300 feet, you get water. So someplace easy to get, and someplace not so easy to get. But Vrindavan is a place where it's very easy to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just like one time our head pujari, Mukundadatta, he went to Europe. Europe Yatra. And he came to Rome. Somehow he went to the Vatican because he was head pujari of a very important temple in Vrindavan. He got audience with the Pope. And they were talking, and Mukundadatta knows there was a solid gold phone there, if you remember those things. And the Pope saw that he was looking. He said, yes, it's a direct line. He said, Acha, you want to use it? No, that's okay. No, go ahead, do it. No, that's all right. Okay. No, go ahead, do it. So Mukundadatta, he picked up the phone, and so the offerings are going in regularly, everything is going on nicely, and he spoke for some time, then he hung up. So he said, so how much is it? Pope said, no, don't worry about it. No, I can't come and use your phone in that place. He said, no, you don't worry about it. No, I can't come and use your phone and not pay for it. All right, $223. So he paid the Pope. Then, sometime later, the Pope came to Bharat. He came to Delhi. And remember, 90 miles south of here is that Krishna Balaram Mandir, where Mukundadatta is the head pujari. So he went to Vrindavan. He found out Krishna Balaram Mandir. Mukundadatta took him up to his office, and they were sitting and chatting. And he saw the gold phone is also there. He said, you have one too? He said, yeah. You want to use it? No, that's all right. No, go ahead, use it. No, that's all right. Go ahead, use it. So he picked up the phone. He said, I don't know what to do. These Hare Krishnas are buying all our old churches and turning them into temples. And he talked for some time. Then he hung up the phone. He said, how much is it? Don't worry, it's nothing. No, I can't come and use your phone and not pay. No, it's nothing. No, I can't use your phone without paying. He said, all right, 2 rupees. 2 rupees? Yeah, it's local call. So, Sanadhyam Nitida Hare. It's always very easy to come in contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Madhuvan. Then he says, Snatmanu Savanam Tasmin Kalindya Salile Shive. That her ways were so auspicious. Shive, Kalindya Salile Shive. Kritochitam Vasanam Atmana Kalpitasana. He told him to go to that auspicious Kalindi, and you perform asanas and meditate upon the self. Atmana Kalpitasana. Idyuktas tam parikramya pranamya cha nipabhaka yuyam madhuvanam punyam haris charana charchitam. So he parikramya, he circumambulated Narad Muni and paid his obeisances. And then Yuyo, he went to Madhuvan, Punyam, the highest forest of Madhuvan. Haris Charana Charchitam, where the land is always marked with the footprints of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So finally he went to Madhuvan. At that time Yamuna was flowing there, and he began to perform great penances and austerities. He was standing on one foot with his hands raised in the air. And he decided that he would just eat every 3 days. Great austerities he was performing. Just imagine, we invite you for Kartik Yatra, we're only going to feed you every 3 days. So after 1 month, he said, wow, I'm really a sense enjoyer, eating every 3 days. My goodness. So he decided he will only eat every 6 days. So another month went by. Then he decided, well, I'm really a sanskrit eating every 6 days. I'm just going to drink water every 9 days. Like that. Then he decided, after another month went by, then he decided, well, I'm just going to take breath every 15 days. So he was again meditating, he was chanting the mantra that Narad Muni gave him. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So by performing all these very intense, heavy penances and austerities, Prabhupada explains that he became identified with the whole universe. Such that, if you're standing on one leg, sometimes you wobble. But instead of him wobbling, the earth was going like this underneath his foot when he wobbled, like the whole earth was shaking. He became identified with the whole universe. And finally he decided after 5 months, all right, I'm simply going to stop breathing altogether. And because he identified with the whole universe, he stopped the universal breathing. And all the demigods, they went to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma, he started the universal breathing. He said, look, you got to go see this guy. He just stopped the whole universal breathing. So the Lord said, don't worry, I have planned for you. So Dhruva Maharaj, he was meditating. And suddenly the Lord disappeared from his heart. And he tried again to see him. He couldn't see the Lord in his heart. He opened his eyes and he saw the Lord was standing there right in front of him. And Prabhupada explains, he was a little boy, he doesn't know how to offer prayers. So the Lord touched him with his kancha. And he offered so many beautiful prayers for the Lord. And finally the Lord said, my dear Dhruva, what is it that you desire? And Prabhupada quotes, I can't remember which Purana, it's from a very beautiful sloka. Swami Kritartosmi, oh my Lord, fully satisfied. And when you hear in the recording, Prabhupada say, fully satisfied, you can understand what is full satisfaction. I'm fully satisfied, I don't want anything. Are you left the palace and came here sleeping on dry grass and eating berries only monkeys eat and performing so many penances and austerities. Now you say you don't want anything? What is the reason for that? He said, my dear Lord, I was looking for broken pieces of glass. India, you very rarely see everybody walks barefoot, so nobody dare break. Like here, they just get drunk and throw their bottles, and there's broken glass all over the sides of the room, but nobody cares for it. Who cares for it? It's not worth anything. He said, I came looking for broken pieces of glass. And what is he saying is broken pieces of glass? He wanted a kingdom greater than his great-grandfather, who's Lord Brahma, whose kingdom is the whole universe. So our material desires don't even rate. That's broken piece of glass that our material our material desires don't even rate, he said. But I have found a rare jewel. If you're just there going through some broken piece of glass and suddenly you see a huge diamond, how much satisfied you'll be. He said, my dear Lord, I was looking for broken pieces of glass, but I've got a rare jewel like you. What is the use of kingdom or anything? The Lord said, it's okay. Don't worry, you won't get attached. You will become the king. Even your mother Suruchi and Uttam, they'll be very happy with you because now you became a Vaishnava. Everyone will be happy with you. You return home. You will rule the kingdom for many thousands of years. I forgot how many thousands, tens of thousands of years. And then you will come to the Dhruvaloka. It's like if you look in the north at night, you see this one star. You put your camera and leave it time lapse. You'll see all the stars move around, but the one star is there in the center. Mhm. It doesn't move. So that's Dhruvaloka. And that's, Prabhupada explained, that's a Vaikuntha planet within this material universe. Because he wanted something greater than this whole universe. So the only thing greater than this universe is Vaikuntha. So he gave him this Vaikuntha planet. Mhm. He's ruling there. Mhm. So there's a big hill there, and many, many steps. You have to go up many, many, many steps. And you come up and there's a grand temple there. When I first went there, it was just sort of broken down little place. And, they have a nice Shiva temple on one side. Madhuvaneshwar Mahadev. And they had 3 altars. But one year, one dear godbrother of mine, he wanted to do some service in Dhruv Tila. So I went there and asked him, I said, well, they're on top of a hill, when it rains, the earth is falling down. We need a retaining wall all around it to keep, otherwise the temple is going to wash away. So we built this, I got this retaining wall. He gave a nice donation. We built this big retaining wall. As soon as we did that, somebody else got interested in serving. Next time I came, the temple was gone. And next time I came, beautiful, grand temple was there with 3 altars. Mm-hmm. On the middle altar, of course, is Dhruv and Narayan. Mm-hmm. And Narad Muni. Mm-hmm. And then on the left altar, there's Lakshmi Narayan and Dhruv Maharaj also there. And then on the far right altar, there's they have Srinathji, some deity of Srinathji, and they have a temple of little statue of Devi, and Uddhav. Because remember, Uddhav, he met Vidura, or rather Vidura met Uddhav in Braj, but Uddhav was all broken up because Krishna had just left. He said, you go talk to Maitreya, I can't talk, I'm too upset right now. And he went off to the Himalayas. So Uddhav's little deity is there. And all, I mean, beautiful, huge temple with beautiful paintings all around and verses, very special verses all around. And you look out the back and you just see beautiful forest and nice. There's peepal trees. When Krishna saw peepal tree, he told Maya, Hari Maya, what kind of tree is this? What's leaf has got a tail? What kind of tree is this? What's leaf is? Ye kanki pear, just get patiki punche Maya. Ye kanki pear, just get patiki punche Maya. And Mother Yasoda looked and said, oh Lala, this is peepal tree. You've seen them just like in front of Prabhupada's Samadhi in Vrindavan. Huge peepal tree is there. And the leaves are shaped like a heart, and then they come down to a little punch tail. And as soon as there's a little bit of wind, they begin to move. And as soon as big wind comes in, and a big nice sound. And peepal trees are very special for the environment. Because we learned in botany class that the trees, they give oxygen in the daytime and carbon dioxide in the nighttime. But peepal trees and banyan trees, they give off oxygen 24/7. They're very special trees for the environment. In fact, Krishna saw the banyan trees. Oh Maya, ye kanki pear, jiski dadi hai Maya, ye kanki pear, jiski dadi hai Maya. What type of tree is this what's got a beard, Maya? What type of tree is this what's got a beard? And Mother Yasoda looks and says, oh Lala, this is banyan tree. In Sanskrit and Hindi we call Bhat or Vargat. And I found a big book this thick on Indian trees, and I read there that during the British times, the Britishers saw that all the merchants used to put their push carts and made their little shops in the shade of these types of trees. So in ISKCON we know the merchant class of people is called Vaishyas. But in Bharat we say Baniya. Almost like bank. Baniya. Because in the old days, before there was banks, we used to give our money to the Vaishya, and he would speculate with it and give us some interest, you know. So they called it the banyan tree. So slowly it became banyan tree. So you see beautiful forest all around it. And there's a nice prickama marg. You come in the evening, especially in the evening, all the villagers of Madhuvan, they come there and do prickama around. The government made a big wall around so it won't be encroached. And beautiful forests there. You see tamal trees and kadamba trees and peepal trees and banyan trees. And here and there's little temples and very sweet. And so many peacocks are there. And very sweet little place. And a beautiful temple is there on top of the hill. There was nice sadhu who used to run that temple. His name was Nrsimha Baba. But all the villagers called him Ninu Baba.
Mhm.
If you go there, you see a bench, dedicated to Ninu Baba. And Ninu Baba, he was a resident of Madhuvan, but he became a sadhu, which is very rare because Brijvasis are real enjoyers. They don't become sadhus. So he became a sadhu. He lived there at that temple. And he never went anywhere. He would never wandered around Braj. He never saw any place except his Madhuvan and Dhruvtila. Except, he told me, sometimes he would go to Vrindavan and spend the night, and in the morning he would come to see the Mangalartik and ISKCON and Krishna Balaram Mandir, and then he'd go back to Madhuvan. And now it's become the fashion. If you're in Vrindavan overnight, you have to go at 4:30 in the morning and see the Mangalartik and ISKCON. It's a fashion. You will see there's no room. It's completely packed. In the old days, when Prabhupada, we just celebrated the 50th anniversary. The 50th anniversary, the residents of Vrindavan said, "Are, why do you build your temple out there? Who will go there?" And now you come 4:30 in the morning and you can't even get in. It's not because of the devotees, it's ordinary people. They get up at 4 o'clock and they come there to see the Mangalarti. They had to put a rope on the front for us ulsters to go back and forth between the three altars. So he used to go to Vrindavan, he'd see the Mangalarti, and he'd come back to Madhuvan. Several years ago, he entered into the eternal Madhuvan. So every time we go there, somebody else is different is there every time we go. He was very sweet, Baba. Big, he looked like a sheikh. He was big and fat, very jolly. Ninu Baba. He had too much affection for me. So like this, Mahaprabhu went and visited all the forests of Braj, and he sent the 6 Goswamis to discover all the holy places. So we'll put our voice to rest here. If anybody has any questions, we can try to answer those questions. Yes, Madhuri?
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, in the 9th chapter of the first canto, Srila Prabhupada writes in one of the later verses that we are parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but we are separated. We are separated parts and parcels because we are here in the material world. And he writes that, just like a part of a machine that's separated from the machine can't really serve the machine. So we cannot serve as long as we are in the material world. So I just wanted to hear from you. We say devotional service. Srila Prabhupada has translated bhakti as pure devotional service, transcendental devotional service.
As long as we're engaged in sense gratification, then just like if the screw falls off of the machine, then it's just useless. Nobody cares for it. As long as in the machine, it's connected to the machine, that is useful. So Krishna consciousness is the process to get the screw turned back into the machine so we can. So when we do our service, we're connected. Just like if you go to Vrindavan, you'll see in the afternoon, all the ladies are there stringing the garlands. That activity is not temporary. When they go back to Godhead, they'll also be stringing garlands for Krishna, the eternal servants. Krishna consciousness is so nice, the means and the end are the same. The end is to serve, means is to serve Krishna, the end is to serve Krishna. So as soon as you take to Krishna consciousness, you start chanting, then you're being screwed back into the machine. Then we become valuable. That screw has great, on the floor it has no value, but in the machine it has great value.
And is it also because we are connected through the parampara? So
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So we're told that, okay, Vrindavan is there, and it's very wonderful. But, go visit, do parikrama. But you don't need to go live there. Just Vrindavan is wherever you do service, right? Or wherever this is happening. So what's
Still,
the difference?
Vrindavan is very special. It's a fact. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Narbuni asked the Lord, one day he said, where do you stay? And he said, Naham masami vaikunte yogi nam hriye suva yatra madbhakta gayanti tatras tistami narad. Hey Narad, Naham masami vaikunte, Vas means to live. I don't live in Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is the Lord's abode. Bhagavan is not there. Naham basami, I don't stay in Vaikuntha. Okay, Bhagavan, where did he go? Naham yogi nam hriye suva. The yogis are meditating for thousands of years, trying to see the ray from the toe of the Lord in their heart. And he says, I'm not in the heart of the yogis. Where did Bhagavan go? Nambasami Vaikunte, yogi nam hriye suva. Yatra madbhakta gayanti, wherever my devotee is chanting, tatra tistami. Tistami means Lord goes and sits. Tatra tistami is first person. I sit there. Wherever my devotees are chanting, yatra madbhakta gayanti, tatra tistami narada. In that place I stay. So Krishna, he made one Vrindavan, but our Srila Prabhupada, he made hundreds of Vrindavans all over the world. This is a fact. Still, Prabhupada instituted this, well, in the old days it was Mayapur Vrindavan Festival, and somebody complained to Prabhupada that's costing about $500,000 to bring all the devotees here, you add up all their airfares, better we spend that on book distribution. And Prabhupada said, you're eating, that's costing a lot of money, why don't you stop eating? So he put visiting the holy places as important as eating, or more important. So there's Prabhupada explains in Krishna book, he said even an atheist goes there, he'll feel something different. It's a special place. So it's true, this is also Vrindavan here, and we're chanting the glories of the Lord. This is also Vrindavan. I told him we're going to Vrindavan.
You mentioned somewhere, Prabhupada mentioned that those who are not so advanced, they can be Vrindavan.
Oh yeah, in the same pastime with Prabhu Maharaj, in the purport, Prabhupada says, if one is not very advanced, because he explains, he said, told me to go to Madhuvan. So he said, if one is not very advanced in devotional service, then he should execute devotional service in a holy place, like Haridwar, Mathura, Vrindavan. But if one is a liberated soul like Narad Muni, he can go anywhere in the world. So now I know why I stay in Vrindavan. I'm too fallen to make it anywhere else. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can you share from your personal interactions with Srila Prabhupada, any special interactions that made a huge impact? And second one, you dedicated your whole life to Srila Prabhupada. We read his books, but our level of commitment to him is not that high, at least for me. So how can we improve that?
Well, first of all, you're all thinking that we weren't so fortunate like you. You saw Prabhupada, you got to speak with Prabhupada. We're not so fortunate we didn't get his association. But you shouldn't feel like that. I had one godbrother named Kartikeya. He was Prabhupada's servant way back in the mid-60s. Way before I became a devotee. He's no longer in this world, so you won't find him on the memory tapes. But he personally told me this story. At one time, Prabhupada went to Hawaii with Gaur Sundar and Govindadasi, who was originally from Hawaii. And one day, Govindadasi came back from the market and she had something called wheat germ. And I never met anybody from bars who knew what wheat germ is. You know what wheat germ is? Anyway, in the wheat there's a little part that's going to germinate, so that's called germ. They extract that somehow out of the grain, you know. Anyway, it's very healthy. So he thought next time Swamiji, this is old days, so he said next time Swamiji asks for halava, I'm going to make it with the wheat germ instead of with the cream of wheat. So one day it rained. So when it rains, it's a little cool, you know. So Prabhupada liked halava. It's full of ghee and grains, makes it nice and warm. Yeah? So he told Kartikeya, you make some halava. So Kartikeya went in the kitchen and his whole bhav was, I'm going to make the halava with the wheat germ. And Swamiji's really going to like it. His whole bhav was, because he was very sensitive and, you know, sensitive devotee, very emotional devotee. And he said, oh, Swamiji's really going to like this. He's really going to, he cooked it with this bhav. This Swamiji's really going to like this, really going to like this. You know, he offered it to Krishna, then he put it in a bowl, he brought it in to Prabhupada. Prabhupada took one look. He said, what is this? Halava means cream of wheat, suji. Halava means suji. With his left hand, he said, take it out. Oh. If you reject something by left hand, that's very heavy, you know. So he was destroyed. Like I said, he was a very sensitive, emotional devotee. I believe his background may be Indonesian or something. He was sort of dark-skinned, something like that. Anyway, he was destroyed. He went to the altar and he sat in front of the picture of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta and he began to pray that I was simply trying to please your spiritual son, Swamiji, but somehow he's become so upset with me. I don't know what to do, and he was crying. Suddenly he heard Prabhupada's voice, Kartikeya? Kartikeya? He ran to Prabhupada's room. He said, bring that halava. So he brought back the halava. With great gusto, Prabhupada ate it all. He said, bring more. And then he ate it all. He said, bring more. Prabhupada finished the whole pot of halava. He said, I learned two things from that. One is that Prabhupada is not alone. Because he was sitting in front of the picture of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta and praying. But behind Prabhupada, there's a whole chain of spiritual masters, all the way up to the lotus feet of Krishna. And they're handing us the rope, you know. All you have to do is grab onto the rope and they'll pull us out of this material world. So one, Prabhupada is not alone. Second thing is, Prabhupada always said the grandfather is more merciful than the father. So you're not unfortunate, you're more fortunate than us. You have Prabhupada as your grandfather's spiritual master. He'll be more merciful to you than to us. And we see it as a fact. We see so many second generation devotees, we see so many wonderful services all over the world. You know, his grandfather is more merciful. So you don't think yourself unfortunate, you're very fortunate. And as far as intimate association with Prabhupada, he said that my purports are my personal ecstasies. What more personal association do you want? Because that association wasn't available to anyone. When Prabhupada was translating his books, he was all alone. Didn't matter, you're GBC or temple president or whatever. He was alone when he was writing his books. And personal ecstasies, I mean, there's nothing more, that's the most personal association with Prabhupada you can get, and that wasn't available even in Prabhupada's time, but it's available to everyone. You just crack open one of Prabhupada's books, you're getting the most personal association with Srila Prabhupada. Don't think you're unfortunate, don't think you're not. You're very fortunate, and we have Prabhupada's books to study.
He wanted to know your personal interaction. I want to mention that you touched Prabhupada's.
Oh, one time, I always made sure I was right at the foot of the Vyasa-san, and whenever I was in LA, and Prabhupada got down off the Vyasa-san, he would always pay his dandavats, and then go up through the back door and up to his room in LA Temple. So, I was right there at the foot of the Vyasa-san, so when Prabhupada paid his obeisances, his dandavats, I looked up, and I saw right in front of my head those two lotus feet were there. So I just pushed my head with my head into those two lotus feet. Only other, well, so many. What I'm thinking of is that one time, like I said, I was always right at the foot of the Vyasa-san when I was in LA and Prabhupada was there. So one day before class, Prabhupada was sitting in a Vyasa-san, and he pointed at me like this. And I looked, I thought maybe my dhoti was flying open, or I couldn't see it. I couldn't figure it out, so I froze in this position like a yogi, my hands like this, and Prabhupada went like this. But, of course now in my old age, I can't sit on the floor anymore. Even when I was younger, it was very difficult, just the way my legs are built something, anyway. So I was sitting there like this, and in the middle of the class, you know how devotees like to go like this, It's so distracting if you're giving class, someone is going. Prabhupada stopped the class, he looked straight at me and said, "Don't do that."
Somebody sent him the recording recently.
So just Prabhupada took personal note of me. Any other questions? Yes.
Yes. So it was very nice, the pastime of Guru Maharaj you told, and I was listening to one of the lectures, I think, when first time Srila Prabhupada told this pastime to the Western devotees, they got very excited, and a lot of the devotees really wanted to renunciate their life because Dhruva Maharaj also gave, once he saw the Supreme Lord, he just didn't want anything else. So that was really good, and I was somehow feeling that connection when you were telling the story when you met Srila Prabhupada, and then now it's kind of same feeling what the devotees might have received at that point in time when this canto was released and the Dhruva Maharaj story came in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's good. So one question I have, Prabhuji, so Krishna wants us back in Golok Vrindavan, then why does he send Maya to block our way?
Because we wanted it. We only come here in this material world because we wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna. Because Prabhupada explains, love means it's done voluntarily. Just like we were discussing the other day about one time Mahaprabhu was supposedly going to Vrindavan, but he went to Brahmakeli. And the Muslim ruler of that area, he called, I forget who he called, but he wanted to know about this. There's this fellow, thousands of people are following him, and he's not giving them anything. I have thousands of servants. If I don't pay them, they'll leave immediately. But this guy, thousands of people following him, he's not giving them anything. He's not paying them. So, now what was your question? I forget. lost in the ecstasy.
Oh, okay. So why Krishna sends Maya to block our way to reach him faster than we can? I mean, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, so, like Prabhupada said, you have to have some tests. We shouldn't feel bad about Maya. Just like there's a boxer, he has a sparring partner, right? His partner's trying to smash him in the nose, or give him a nice left hook to the chin, and knock him out. But his sparring partner's not against him. He's trying to train him up to know how to block that and come underneath and punch like that. So we shouldn't feel bad about Maya. She's trying to train us up. And just like when you're in the first grade, then they give you a test, and then you can go to the second grade, and then to the third grade, and then finally you get a test and you can go to high school. So you can't expect that the test when you go to high school is going to be the same test they gave you in first grade. So the tests are going to get heavier and heavier. It's not just going to get easier and easier. So as we advance, then the tests also advance. And the main thing is, just like we were discussing about Sanatana Goswami the other day, he was offering these old dry chapati balls, batis, to Madan Mohan. And Prabhupada explained, Madan Mohan was crying. He offered this old dry bati, you don't even put any salt. He said, look, I'm an old man, whatever I get, I offer you, please accept. So Prabhupada said, because devotees offering with love, then Madan Mohan, he had to accept this old dry chapati ball. So you see all of Prabhupada's letters, the end it says, I'm always praying to Krishna for you young boys and girls to advance in Krishna consciousness. This is our situation. Whatever we're doing, we're thinking, oh, I'm a great collector, I'm a great donor, I'm a great temple president, I'm a great lecturer. Our devotional service is just an old dry bhakti with no salt. But because Prabhupada's offering to Krishna, Krishna's accepting whatever we think we're doing in the name of devotional service. So that's our qualification. Prabhupada is praying to Krishna that you please accept these boys and girls. The Maya is not against us, she's there just to train us up. Just like there was a piece of mud, he was living on the earth very peacefully. And somebody came with a shovel and dug him up. What are you doing, And he took him home, he put him on a big stone, round stone, he spun it around. He said, I'm dizzy, I'm going to throw up. Just wait. He made him into a little cup. And then he took that clay cup, he put it in the oven, and through the oven he could see. Not yet. Then after he was baked, then he put some very bad smelling enamel paint all over. And then again put him in another oven. Just wait. And then when he's finished, he showed him in the mirror. And he said, oh, so beautiful. He said, yes. So we may have to go through so many things, but it's just to make us beautiful. And don't give up. Sometimes we think it's hopeless. But just like when I was a young boy, I used to cut up all my father's National Geographics for my school projects. Because I was older, then I understood how much painful it must have been for him. But he tolerated it because I was learning something. But this is like 60 years ago. There was an article about the elephants in the Indian railways. They used them for pushing the cars and loading the cars and other things. And they explained how they took a young elephant, they drove a great big stake into the ground, and they would tie a rope around his wrist, and that little elephant would run around and around and around and around and around and around and around. Eventually he comes to the conclusion that when they put this thing, I can't go anywhere. Now he's a huge elephant. He's lifting logs, whole trees onto the railway car, and they put a little stake in the ground and a rope, and he stands there. Because he gave up trying. He gave up trying. So don't give up trying. Just like we can take inspiration from the child. Walking is natural. We don't even think of it. It's not that we're thinking, I gotta put the right foot, and now when I steady on the right foot, then I move my left foot. We don't think about it. We just walk. It's natural. But we had to learn. And you watch the little child, he's trying to learn. He falls, he hits his head on the corner of the table. Yeah? And in America we say he gets a big egg on his head. Then he falls on the floor and gets a bloody nose. But what does he do? He just picks himself up and he keeps on trying. And one day he's running everywhere and driving his mother crazy. So we can take inspiration from the child. He has to be that determined. Just keep on going. Any other questions? Otherwise, we have my latest book with us. Braj Leela Part 3, Giriraj, the King of Mountains. Because in Braj Leela Part 1 and Part 2, which are out of print, but they're available on Amazon, we'll print a copy for you. We went around the whole Braj Bandu. So we just stopped at a few places on Govardhan, but I think Govardhan deserves a whole chapter by itself. Because you'll be surprised, everyone goes there to do Olympics, run around the hill, and they see maybe Radhakund and Kusum Sarovar or Govindakund. But there's so many places, you have no idea. And since everyone, the other books only have like 10, 12 pictures, but since everybody loves our Arta Bandhu's beautiful photography, we decided to make it a picture book. So there's 284 colored prints inside here. It's all glossy paper. Look, here's Kusum Sarovar at night. The government put nice lighting there. We never go at night, so he misses. We get a nice picture of another one. The 284 color prints, 32 color paintings. We had to get special permission from BBT to use their paintings. And we did a lot of research for several years to find all the places. You'd be surprised how many places are there. And even some are lost. Because we went through Braj Bhakti Vilas, which gives them pranam mantras and ashram mantras for the whole of Braj. So we studied a chapter on Govardhan, and he gives mantras and everything for places on Govardhan, and nobody knows where they are. Even in 500 years, some places have become lost. But now we have, at least now we have a visual record. Anything I could find is in this book. And we went through all the Goswami literature. So there's 530 pages of nectar, 284 paintings, 30 pictures and 32 paintings, all glossy paper. And we only ask small donation, $25. And we don't need cash. You can pay for it, online anyway, anyhow. Credit card or anyway, anyhow. And I'm here this evening to sign it if anybody wants to take a copy with them. But before we end, we should do a little kirtan. And this is special Braj kirtan. And you're all tired of sitting anyway, so everyone stand up because you won't be able to sit anyway. And we're going to give our Mani player a workout. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan. Jai when you go to Vrindavan, the guy who drives the rickshaw, he's the rickshaw
Wala.
wala. Who makes the sweets, he's the sweet.
Wala.
Who takes care of the cows, he's the
Oh, wala.
Gwala, 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 gwal.
Wala.
Jai Jai Gopi, Jai Jai Gwal, Jai Jai Sada, like we sing in Tosi Artik, always sing the glories of Bihari Lal. Jai Jai Gopi, Jai Jai Gwal, Jai Jai Sada, Bihari Lal. Jai Jai Gopi, Jai Jai Gwal, Jai Jai Sada, Bihari Lal. Govinda, Govinda, Gaoge. You all know Radha Krishna, Guna, Gao. That's the imperative sense. Sing Radha Krishna. Gaoge is future conditional. If you will sing Govinda, Govinda, prema padartha, that thing, substance called prema, padartha means substance. That substance of pauge, you know, pau, so pauge, you will taste that thing called prema. Govinda, Govinda, Gauge, prema padartha, Govinda, Govinda, Gauge, prema So when you do Govardhan Prikrama, you have to take bath in Manasi Ganga, then you take darshan of Hari Dev, then Giri Baradari ki Prikrama Day, then you give Prikrama of Govardhan. Manasi Ganga, Shri Hari Dev, Giri Baradari ki Prikrama Day. Hare repeat everything, huh? Todi Todi Hindi aati hai. So Kunda Kunda me, Charnamrita me, take Charnamrita and all the kunds. Apana means your very own. Jivan?
Life.
Life. Apana Jivana, Safala. Just like, Patram Bhusam Phalam. Phalam means fruit. Sa, phal, with fruit. Fruitful. Successful. Make your life successful. Apana Jivana, Safala Kare. Kunda Kunda me, Charnamrita me. Sab Loki. Thank you very much.